I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely ready to make 2024 the best year possible. So today we are planning, goal setting, vision boarding, all of those good things to create the good vibes and get ourselves set up for the new year. So if that is something you are keen to see and keen to do, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. All right, so step number one, we are going to create a little bit of ambience. So whether that is lighting some sage or some incense or burning a candle or putting some essential oils in a diffuser, anything that kind of sets the vibe, maybe open up your doors and windows, let some fresh air in. Personally, I'm going to be creating a lovely little simmer pot. I have been well and truly getting on this trend and loving doing this lately. Some seasonal fruits creates a lovely smelling aroma. And then step number two, we're going to get all of our resources together. So whether that's your lined journal, an unlined journal, a bullet journal, some highlighters, some pens, some stickers, whatever you've got that kind of can be used to create some vision boards, you know, or like write out your goals, do some journaling, whatever you have on hand, get all of those resources together. Let's make it fun. Let's add some color. Personally, I'm also going to grab my laptop because I like creating a digital vision board that I can have as my laptop background. So if you want to do that as well, grab your laptop. Otherwise, maybe you want to print out some pictures or grab some magazines, scissors and sticky tape that you can create that with. Anyway, let's get all of the resources together and set ourselves up a cozy little nook in the house where we can just take that time, focus and create the plan. All right, it is time to get started. Personally, I'm going to use my 2024 manifestation and productivity planner. I created this over on Etsy. I'm going to run through all of the journal prompts that I have in this so you can kind of just follow along with me and just journal in your own journal if you'd like, or if you'd like this specific PDF, you can head over there. I printed out because I just like things tangible and hard copy, but it is digital download, so up to you how you would like to use it. But the first thing I want us to do is reflect on our previous year. So how was 2023? So I have a couple of different categories here in terms of like health, career, finance, your social life, so friends, family, spirituality and relationships, but you can make whatever categories kind of suit you. How would we rate each of those categories? If we're going to give them a number out of 10, 10 being I absolutely smashed it and killed it in this realm of my life, and 1 being it wasn't going that great. What would you rate that category? So for instance, health. Out of 10, what would you rate health? Let's just say you rate your health for 2023 as being a 7 out of 10. What are some of the factors that helped make it a 7? That helped make it that high? So what were some of the positive things that you were doing or seeing? What goals were you hitting? What factors or what habits helped to contribute to that 7 out of 10? And then maybe you also just want to jot down what were the challenges or the areas of weakness. What would have taken it up to an 8 if you had have been able to do or see or achieve in that realm of life? So what were some of the things that made it a positive experience that contributed to that high of a number, and what were some of the things that would have elevated it even further? Now, even if you only rated finance as being a 2 out of 10, we're still going to try and find some of those positive elements that still brought it up to a 2 as opposed to a 1, because we do want to try and find the positives wherever possible, but we're also looking for those areas where it could have been slightly improved, because those things will help inform our goals for 2024. All right, next step, I've got 3 journal prompts, and feel free to pause the video after each prompt and take the time to actually write out your responses. So my first question is, what is keeping me from living my dream? So think about, what are the excuses you're making? What are the challenges you're finding? What are the obstacles you're coming up against? What are the situations, the circumstances, the relationships that you continue to put yourself in that is stopping you from being the person that you want to be and living the life that you want to live? Journal prompt number 2, what do I need to make more time for? So think about that dream, that life that you want to live, the vision for 2024. What are some of the things that you would love to incorporate more of this year? And my journal prompt number 3 is, what is my future perfect by the end of this year? If you could just close your eyes for a minute and envision your day-to-day life, envision your home, envision your family, envision you going to work, envision your habits, your morning, your evening. What does it look like? And just take a moment to start to dream and start to write down what that life looks like for you. This kind of flows on perfectly to the next page in my planner, New Year Manifestation. By the end of this year, I am. And we're starting to really hone in and focus on some of those things as part of your future perfect that you would like to bring into reality. So by the end of this year, I am looking. How do you look? How do you carry yourself? How are you dressing? Maybe quite, vainly, I guess, or superficially. How are you physically appearing? How are you feeling? So think about your mental state. How are you feeling? How are you feeling physically? I am living. What does your day-to-day life comprise of? How would you describe your lifestyle, or a lifestyle that you are intending to cultivate? I am working. What does your financial situation look like? Are you working for yourself? Are you working for someone else? If you're working for yourself, or if you're working for someone else, what does that look like? What sort of hours would you like to work? What sort of days would you like to work? In what sort of industry would you like to work? And I am being. So being is kind of a tricky one, but for me, something that I would be putting down in terms of the being would be relaxed, being peaceful, being able to manage my emotions, manage my stress. What does that look like for you? How are you being? Is it in terms of health? Is it in terms of being social or adventurous or whatever it may be? So think about those things. By the end of this year, I am looking, feeling, living, working, being. If there are any other categories that you want to add to that, please feel free. A doing could be one. A traveling could be another. Now that we've sort of thought about our future perfect, we've honed down on it a little bit more and created like a bit of a vision or hopes and dreams for ourselves. I want us to make that a little bit more tangible and a little bit more visual. And this is where we're going to create our vision board. Now, personally, I love Pinterest, and throughout the year, I am constantly pinning a heap of pins to my vision board or wish list board, which I have as a private board on Pinterest. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to start looking for a few themes, and I'm going to save down to my computer any images that I would like to use as part of my 2024 vision board. Now, maybe you're just if you don't have a Pinterest, maybe you're just specifically searching things up on Google. It might be quotes, it might be words, it might be images. It could even be images that you have taken, so from your own Facebook or from your own Instagram, because that is fantastic if other elements of your life are your vision for this year. I certainly have that in my life, places that I've traveled to, or cozy moments that I have had, or uplifting moments that I have had that could be the vision for the year ahead. Keep living those good vibes. So feel free to do that. It doesn't need to be someone else's picture. It could be something of your own. Once I've saved my images, I'm going to upload them to Canva and create a bit of a collage, which I will then download and use as the desktop background on my laptop. So every single day when I'm getting on my laptop to edit or upload a video, or just to work perhaps, I will see that and I will be reminded of all the things that I am hoping and dreaming for and working towards this year. So based on your vision board, you're probably starting to see that there are a couple of realms in your life that are shining through, or a couple of categories or types of pictures that are coming up again and again. And I want you to use those categories or those areas to now set your goals. So this year I will. What are you hoping to achieve this year? Now, we are trying to make SMART goals here, so the more specific you can be, the better. So I was thinking about this the other day. I would definitely like to make exercise a priority in my life. Let's make that more specific. I would like to work out 3 to 4 times a week. We can even hone that down even more. And we could say, I would like to do at least a 10-minute workout 3 to 4 times per week, with one of those workouts focusing on strength, i.e. weights. The more specific you can be, the more obvious it's going to be to you whether you have achieved that goal or not. And we don't want to make them like so extravagant that they are unrealistic and unachievable to us. So I could have said I want to work out every day. That's not going to be realistic to my lifestyle, so 3 to 4 times per week. I could have then said that those 3 to 4 times per week is like half an hour workout, or half an hour to an hour workout, but I know that I might not have the capacity to get that in as part of my everyday. So if I could do at least a 10-minute workout, doesn't matter whether it's like a nice 10-minute YouTube video, or a couple of sets with my weights, or 10 minutes on the treadmill, or 10 minutes going for like a really brisk walk. 10 minutes is achievable, it's tangible. I know whether or not I have completed that or not. And one way that can help you focus on achieving those goals is having a weekly habit tracker, where every single week you are putting that goal or those goals on your habit tracker, and you are checking off each day whether you have completed it or not. Now, if it's something that you want to do daily, obviously we are looking to get a check mark or a completed on a daily basis. But if it's something like 3 to 4 times per week that you're just hoping to achieve, at least by the end of the week you can count up the days that you have completed that task. And if we're kind of getting towards the end of the week and you've only got your 2 workouts in, but we've got 1 more day left of our week, we know that that day we really need to prioritize achieving that goal. So another page in my planner is this one called Crush Your Goals. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Now, you might like to specifically kind of unlock and unpack one goal that you feel like needs to be your main focus out of the couple that you have created, or you might like to do all of these sort of elements for all of your goals. But I want you to think about what are some affirmations that you can create around your goal to help motivate you to achieve it. What is your motivation? Why do you want to achieve this goal? What is driving you? Why is it important to you? If you honestly don't have a good enough reason for that, then maybe the goal is just not worth focusing on and you need to scrap it and just instead refine it down. What are some steps that you can take? So how can you chunk this goal out into even smaller tasks that are maybe more achievable, and you can start working towards those? And how will I know I have reached my goals? If you are getting towards like the halfway point of the year, or even at the end of the year, and it's like, yeah, you know, like I've kind of been doing better in that, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, it needs to be really tangible and really obvious to you whether you have done it or not, and to what degree you have been successful in that, because it's just going to make it so much easier for you to be motivated once you see the progress. Now, some of the next things that I want to talk about are routines. I am a big fan of routines, and I feel like they are so important in not only just like helping us be productive and creating an organized lifestyle, but also in terms of helping us achieve our goals as well. So I want you to write down, what are 3 things that you would like to add to your daily routine? Doesn't matter whether it's in the morning, the evening, the middle of the day. What are 3 habits that you would like to incorporate this year? It might be drinking an entire bottle of water, or it might be reading a chapter of a book, or getting 10 minutes of sunshine, or going to bed by 8 p.m. That's really early, but you get the drift. Next thing, what are 3 things I want to eliminate from my daily routine? So think about some of the habits that have been holding you back from achieving your goals or living the life that you want to live. It might be stop scrolling after dinner, or it might be you know, not buying coffees out at cafes anymore. Think about the things that are truly a hindrance or a detriment to your life. You don't want to just like go cutting out stuff unnecessarily, because we do want to have some fun and some enjoyment and things to look forward to. But if there are truly some things that are preventing you from reaching those goals, and you know are going to be a distraction or a blockage, let's see if we can eliminate them. And then the 3rd thing I want you to think about is things I can do every day to focus on my goals. So what are some habits, or what are some systems that you can put in place that will help make those goals a priority to you? I honestly think like having the goals in a habit tracker, or writing down a to-do list that focuses on chunking out those goals, or putting them into your diary, are 3 like very simple ways that you can focus on achieving those goals. But it might be getting my workout clothes out every night, ready for the next day, or buying myself a new water bottle to make sure that I drink this certain amount of water, or setting up a desk space so I have somewhere strategic that I can actually work and focus on achieving my goals. And the final thing that I want us to journal about, and it kind of links to that previous idea of what is your future perfect, is I want you to visualize and write out your ideal morning and your ideal evening routine. What time are you waking up? What are some of the habits that you're going to do in the morning? What do your mornings look like? What do they feel like? What are you eating for breakfast? What are you getting dressed in? what's kind of the pace of the morning, and similar thing for the evening. What are the habits? What's the pace? What's the feel? Who are you spending it with? What time are you going to bed? Create this little bit of a vision, and maybe some of these things might end up being part of your vision board, or perhaps even part of your goals. But if you have that kind of routine and strategy in place, then maybe we can start actually working on creating that into a reality rather than just something that is a dream at this point. So here is my vision board from 2023. As you can see here, obviously starting a family was a big priority, and then we do have some gardening things. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to tick off the gardening yet because we do have a lot of landscaping to do in our house, but we are making those moves and improvements. And as you can see from some of these other pictures here, cultivating a cozy, airy and light house with coastal vibes was definitely a priority, and I feel like I've been able to tick that off as well. We've got two here that are sort of more beauty related, so obviously getting my skin in order and then growing my hair, and both of those things were made possible, thankfully, due to my pregnancy. So I feel like for the most part, I've definitely been able to achieve the lifestyle and the goals that I was aiming for based on my 2023 vision board, which is fantastic. So here is the final product of my 2024 vision board. As you can see, I've elected a very neutral kind of aesthetic, but I have a mix of different realms of life, including like family / motherhood, career, health, fitness, routines, just overall cozy vibes. Right, so I have done my own self-reflection process, and based on that, I have created 5 goals for myself that I'd like to achieve this year. So the first one is have a weekly planned family activity. Now, this might be something with just Dave and I, it might be Dave, myself, and baby, it might be with myself and my family or whoever, but I want to be really intentional about spending time with family and getting out of the house and doing something. Even if it's just going to the beach or going for a walk or going to the park, making that, you know, intentional time to build our relationship and spend quality time together is really important to me. Now, the second one is not as tangible. So what I'm probably going to have to do is workshop this goal a little bit more and kind of figure out some strategies and habits that are going to help me to be successful in achieving it. And that is be earning an income for myself by working in the online space. So if you're not aware, I spent the last 10 years working as a high school English teacher, and I am taking all of 2024 off on maternity leave, and I really want to use this as an opportunity not only to spend quality time with my family, but also to start cultivating my online presence, my community online, and I guess building that online brand, if you will, into something that can actually generate me some sort of income and allow me to be more flexible when it comes to work and be able to spend more time at home, which is obviously a big priority of mine at the moment. Goal number 3 is something I've already mentioned, exercising for at least 10 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times per week. Very specific, very tangible, very easy to achieve if I put that on my daily to-do list / habit tracker. Number 4, also very tangible, build a vegetable patch and cook with fresh produce from our garden. Now, I am going to need a little bit of help from Dave, who is the handyman / carpenter of the household, to help with the veggie patch building, but I love a good Bunnings trip. I'm so excited to go there and like pick out herbs, fruit, vegetables, and create that vegetable patch. There'll definitely be a video on that at some point once we get our backyard to a state that can sustain a vegetable patch. And then cooking with fresh produce from our garden. It's kind of like a twofold one. It's sort of like a DIY / lifestyle goal, but then cooking with the fresh produce is all about like healthy living, but it's also about me learning to cook and to learn new recipes, I guess. So there's like multiple layers happening with this goal. And then my final goal is create consistent daily and weekly routines that prioritize family, coziness, and slow living. So this goal will come into effect when I start thinking about my ideal morning and evening routine. But it's also about working out what's going to be like the best schedule for us as a family. So what days are going to be my filming days? What days are going to be my editing days, my grocery shopping day, my cleaning day? So really start sort of nutting out the weekly routine as a whole, but then also some daily rituals and habits that I want to incorporate to ensure family, coziness, and slow living. So ensure that I'm having time with my husband and my baby. Ensure that I'm like creating those cozy vibes, whether it's like a morning cuppa or reading a book or you know, a Friday night movie, whatever it might be, and prioritizing slow living. So kind of romanticizing the homemaking, romanticizing the slow and often monotonous aspects of everyday life. And so yes, this is about habits, it's about routines, but it's also kind of my vision for my YouTube channel as well, because I want this to be a place that romanticizes coziness, slow living, homemaking, and like everyday aspects of life as well. So many of these goals are going to overlap and are sort of layered in a sense, but I'm going to use those as the basis of my vision board and of creating my daily habits and routines. I hope that you have enjoyed planning and organizing our years, our goals, and our dreams together. I do have a couple more like kind of life reset / New Year's videos coming to you throughout the month of January. So up next we've got sort of like a budget and savings video all about how I intend to spend less and save more this year. There will definitely be like a house reset video coming where we clean up from Christmas time, because that generally happens before the new year for me, but not this year. So we need to get things in order around the house. I also want to film kind of like a food, fitness, grocery shopping, meal prep kind of life reset video as well. And if you have any specific other ones that you'd like to see from me, as we can kind of like work together to get our lives in order and start the year off strong, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. But thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every single week. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, a great start to the new year, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.